If you're interested in intermittent fasting but you don't know where to start, that's where this video is going to help. You can start feeling better in as little as 28 days, and it is so easy. My name is Heather Mondier, and I'm an intermittent faster, and I want to help you on your fasting journey as well. In this video, we're going to go over how to start intermittent fasting for beginners. So if you don't know anything about intermittent fasting, that is okay. You can start as soon as tomorrow. And towards the end of this video, I'm going to show you my results from fasting for 28 days, and we'll talk a little bit about what I ate, when I ate, and the results that I got from that. So there's a lot of information out there, and you might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed about where to start, what to do, what are the rules, but don't worry, I'm going to simplify it for you and make it super easy. So the first thing I want you to do is pick a schedule. You can start this as soon as tomorrow. You don't have to buy anything special. You don't have to subscribe to any programs. You don't have to pay anything. Intermittent fasting is totally free and done on your schedule according to your life, and that is what I like the most about it. So picking a schedule is really easy. Basically, in my scenario, I skipped breakfast. I didn't have a mid-morning snack or any of that stuff, and I just started eating at noon. My first meal of the day was at noon, and my window would be open until 8 p.m. But that doesn't mean that I spend the whole day eating. I just eat during that window only, and then once I hit that 8 o'clock time, I don't eat or drink anything after that. So you might be thinking, I eat breakfast, I eat a snack, I eat my lunch, and then I still can't make it to dinner. I need another snack, and then I have dinner, and you might even be having dessert. And that's okay, because that's where I was when I started too. And you might be thinking, how on earth can you survive and not eat until noon? Are you starving? So the simple answer to that is no, I'm not starving, I'm not dying. I fill my fasting time with a lot of water. I'm getting a lot more water than I was drinking before I started fasting. But you don't have to follow a schedule that's exactly like mine. You could simply just start by cutting out breakfast and not eating until your normal lunchtime. But then make sure you set a cutoff time as well so that you're not getting into any late night snacking or anything like that. The second thing I want you to do is weigh and measure. You probably don't want to get on the scale, and neither did I, but I'm so glad that I did. There are a lot of different ways to measure your progress. You can measure it in your weight on the scale, but we all know that that fluctuates and sometimes isn't the best way of measuring our progress. So having your measurements is really important, even though it's really not fun measuring yourself. But I'm so glad that I did, because of the inches that I lost. I wouldn't have known that I was making that kind of progress if I hadn't have taken the time the day before I started to get my measurements. But there's also another way to tell if you're making any progress, and that is just by the way you feel, the way your clothes feel. Before I started fasting, I was having headaches constantly. I felt like I was living on ibuprofen, and my stomach I was having a lot of issues, and my headaches are so much better. And I know that is probably in part too, my intake of water has been increased, but just my overall body feels so much better since beginning this. And that's why I'm so excited to share it with you, because it has changed the way I feel about myself, the way I feel about eating. And I just want you to join me on this journey, and I don't want you to get overwhelmed, because I feel like there's so much information out there that you feel like it's so complicated. How am I going to know what's the right thing to do? What's the perfect, right fasting plan that's going to work? The good and bad of that is that everybody has their own life and their own schedule that they're trying to eat around. So what's working for me may not be ideal for you, and that's why it's so great that intermittent fasting can be flexible. So go ahead and weigh and measure on day 0. If you're starting tomorrow, measure and weigh today. The third thing I want you to do is don't change your diet. So for the first 28 days, we're just going to eat like we've always eaten. If you're already on some kind of calorie restricted diet, then just keep doing that. If you're just eating Taco Bell every day, just keep doing that. Whatever you were already doing, I want you to keep doing that for this fast, but only eat during your eating window. So if your eating window is from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., don't eat outside of those hours. Hey, will you do me a favor? If you're getting any value out of this video, will you please hit the like button, and then don't forget to subscribe to my channel to not only get more tips and tricks about intermittent fasting, but to also follow my personal journey on where it takes me and the results that I'm getting. And don't forget that at the end of this video, I am going to share with you my weight and my measurements that I had as a result of my 28-day fast. Something to note here, I'm not proposing that you only fast for 28 days. This is just an easy way to kind of jumpstart yourself into the intermittent fasting lifestyle. So keep in mind that intermittent fasting is not a diet. It is simply just changing the time that you eat, restricting yourself to only eating during certain hours of the day. And it's not about changing what you're eating. That part will come much later, and that is not something that we're going to be talking about in this video. So the fourth thing that I want you to do is fast clean. So what does that mean? Basically, while you're fasting, you're going to drink water, no added anything, just plain water. What if it's 0 calories? No. What if it's no? Just don't add anything to your water, drink it plain. You can have tea, black tea, green tea, but make sure that it's brewed from the leaf. You don't want to go and buy a bottle of green tea and drink that. You don't want to do anything that would interrupt the fasting process. And we're going to go into more detail on how all of this works scientifically in another video, but for now, I want you to just focus on fasting clean. What does that mean? Nothing added to your water, nothing added to your tea. You can have black coffee. I know a lot of coffee drinkers don't like black coffee. I'm one of them. I do not like black coffee. I have tried and I just can't do it. So what do you do without your coffee? For me, I'm just saving it until my window is open because I want my cream and I want my sugar and I want it to taste good. I don't want to just kind of like, grit my teeth and just bear through my coffee in the morning. So I've decided that I'm just going to drink my coffee during my eating window. And it's been working out pretty good, actually. You wouldn't think that someone who's been drinking coffee in the morning for decades, for years, you wouldn't think that someone who's been drinking coffee first thing in the morning for years could undo that pattern and actually start drinking it just in the afternoon or whatever. But it is working for me, and I'm still getting to drink coffee in the way that I enjoy drinking it, and that's really important to me. I don't know about you, but drinking black coffee just makes me more cranky. I'd rather just drink water. And then the last thing, on day 28, I want you to step back on the scale. I want you to write that down next to your previous weight on day 0 so we can compare. I want you to take more measurements so we can compare. I'm not guaranteeing that you're going to lose a certain amount of weight. I'm not guaranteeing that you're going to have the same results as me. Everybody's on their own journey. But even if you see a little bit of progress, I think you're going to be happy and impressed because of how easy this is. You're really putting in little to no effort to lose weight, which is crazy. It's so easy. All right, so let's take a few minutes to go over my own 28-day results. So I didn't know what to do, but I started fasting, and I learned a lot by reading Fast, Feast, Repeat by Jen Stevens. So I have the audiobook, but I enjoyed the book so much that I wanted to have a copy that I could go through and highlight, take notes, etc. And so anyways, I'm going to leave a link for this book in the description below if you're interested. It is fantastic, and I think you're going to learn a lot from it. So at the end of my 28-day fast, where I just followed my eating window of 12 p.m. to 8, and then I only drank water, black tea, black coffee during the fasting hours, I was able to lose 9.4 pounds. And it was so easy. Now, I know you're probably thinking, yeah, I'm not going to get those results, or there's got to be more to it than that. Well, it was super simple. And that was the part that kind of blew my mind. And that was the part that got me to thinking, man, I really need to share this with others. This is so easy that anyone can do it. I love the fact that you don't have to go out and buy anything in particular, no special groceries, no pills, no subscription, not part of a club. You're not in it, it's just you. And you can easily adjust the timing that you're eating. I lost a total of 5¼ inches on my body. I knew my clothes were fitting better, but I would have never known that I was actually losing that many inches. So it was 2 inches on my waist, 1.5 inches around my bust, and on my hips it was 1¾ of an inch. So I want to challenge you after watching this video to go ahead and start fasting. Just start. Start tomorrow. Don't eat breakfast, just eat lunch, eat dinner, stop eating. Drink lots and lots of water. What are you going to do when you get hungry? Get a water. Drink water. It's really super simple, and I hope you'll give it a try. Don't forget to like the video if you got value from it, and subscribe to my channel for more on intermittent fasting in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.